Am I being too optimistic? Am I not being realistic enough? I'm asking those questions because those are things that have been posed specifically at me in Discord and other, yes, YouTubers, but actually other people that are still incredibly positive and bullish regarding SAFUU and Safuux, despite the incredibly disappointing price action of the past couple of days. I think those questions are fair enough given the circumstances that we find ourselves in and the very different reactions that a lot of people have had to these last few days. So in this video, I'm just gonna really cover off why I am still incredibly positive and bullish about SAFUU and, more importantly, Safuux. So let's go. Welcome, my dearest friend. Still in Tuscany, but you'll notice I'm not in the beautiful sun today because there isn't any. And just take a look at this footage that I shot about 20 minutes ago. This is why I'm not outside. It absolutely poured down. A tremendous storm came in. It was so dramatic. So I've come inside today to do this video. The sun is due to come out in about 2 hours, and that's the great thing about being on continental Europe. The rain is never in really for the day unless you're incredibly unlucky. So I think the Tuscan sun will be shining later, but I wanted to get this video out because we are going to be packing up the apartment today and moving on. This is our last full day in Tuscany. So very early in the morning, we're going to be setting off on our voyage back through the south of France and then up through central France to arrive back home a week on Monday. So still a lot of my holiday left. And I am going to share with you some of the incredible things that we have done in the last few days. Again, some people have said they're really interested in seeing a little bit of footage of our vacation in Tuscany. So after I've done my SAFUU bit, I will just share just a couple of minutes of some amazing footage of places like, Florence, Pisa, and just some beautiful places in Tuscany. So that's to come. But in the meantime, let me say my usual, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just sat here on a rainy Saturday morning in Tuscany, sharing some of my thoughts about my favorite crypto project, but please do your own research. I did just want to say very quickly a huge thank you to everybody that has subscribed to me so far and also liked my videos and left comments. It all really helps with the algorithm to push those videos out to get them seen by new eyes and therefore potential investors. So it's really appreciated. I am still on my little mission to get 2 or at least as close to 1,000 subscribers by the time I go to Dubai. Gosh, it's not far off now. And my numbers are creeping up really slowly, but every video I put out, I get more subscribers. So just please, if you aren't already subscribed and you enjoy my content, then please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you. Okay, so to the question, am I and others, am I too optimistic and not being realistic enough about the current position of SAFUU and therefore the future of Safuux? Well, I am sure it will come as absolutely no surprise to hear me say, no, I am not being too optimistic. And yes, I am being realistic. But I think there's something really interesting here about why I take that position, whilst others, clearly it's been displayed in Discord this week, take absolutely the polar opposite approach. I think this is a very complex issue that involves all sorts of psychological factors, mindset, and your general approach to life, plus some other things. So this isn't a deep dive, but I did just want to cover off why I take this position. I think it would be true to say that I am generally, and always have been, a person that is half glass full rather than half glass empty. So I think my default position is I am genuinely a positive kind of gal. I tend to take a positive stance. But I don't think that's because I just like being positive. Because deep within me is a need to base my approach on facts, figures, and evidence. And I tend to be quite analytical. So I think what I'm saying is, this is not just an emotional, oh, she's lovely and she likes to look at things really nicely and positively. I don't think that's the case. Well, I know that's not the case because I know how my brain works. And my brain works based on an evidence-based approach. I look at the evidence in front of me and I base my approach on that. And so if I am negative about something, it's because I've looked, sometimes very quickly, but sometimes, in deep. And I'm not just talking about crypto, I'm talking about life in general. I look at if something does feel negative to me, even in those circumstances. If I'm feeling negative, I don't dwell on negativity. I dwell on, well, what can make it better? How can I stop this being a negative position? How can I ensure that I'm not wasting my time with the negativity that is doing nothing? And how can I move myself from a negative to a positive position? So I think that's just a general kind of statement on my general approach to life itself, not just crypto, but that's been my approach for years and years, bringing up my children, in my workplace. I would say that my colleagues, my family would say, I probably got quite a positive vibe about me because, as I say, even when things are looking down, I'm looking for how to turn that into a positive. So that's my general approach. Now, obviously, if that's not your general approach, it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It just means we have a different perspective. So I think that underpins everything that I say in Discord. When people are saying the project is dead, look, we're down at 120, we've fallen 320%. That's a very different perspective to the one that I adopt. So that's the first thing to say. Okay, so that being said, where does that leave us? So we are currently, as I speak, at 126. We've risen a few cents in the last day or so. But let me take you back to a couple of days ago when I woke up suddenly and the price had fallen from, I think it was when I'd gone to bed, it was at, I don't know, 230 something maybe, I can't remember. Woke up to, I think it was like 118. And of course, I don't look at that price and go, yay, whippy, that's fine. So to be clear, although I've got a very positive outlook on life, I don't enjoy this price. I don't look at 116 or 126 where we are today and kind of go, that's great. It isn't, of course it isn't. I don't think anybody is happy with that price. But my reaction when I woke up was, oh, that's interesting. Something's clearly happened. Let me find out what it is. So that's the first thing I do. What's caused it? Was it a whale? Was it a treasury sale? What is it? But then all of the research that I have done, including a lot of number crunching, is there in my mind. It's not conscious, but I've worked through all the various scenarios. So although I know that the consequences, if we went into sacrifice with a price of today, which is 126, I know already the consequences of that in terms of, we know that will give us less Safuux for our Safuux. So as an individual investor, I will get less Safuux, which potentially long term means that my investment is potentially worth less. But this is the important bit. I have also looked at the flip side of that and the consequence of an incredibly low Safuux price and the very positive outcome that will bring for the fire pit and therefore the long-term price of Safuux. So my, oh, that's interesting, rather than, oh my gosh, the world is falling in, the project is dead. That's where my kind of calm, it's all going to be okay, we're all going to make it, comes from. So again, it doesn't come from, I just like to look at things and be positive. It comes from a depth of knowledge and research and evidence. And I just want to share with you, just very quickly, this isn't a maths exercise, but I think it is important. Let's just really quickly look at the scenario going into sacrifice. If today was sacrifice day and the price was at 126, what would that mean? And, you know, I'm not going to take my last video was about my strategy and how much Safuux I have. Check it out, it's up here. It's not about me. Let's make it more general. Let's look at the average number of Safuux that's held by the Discord community. And as we speak, it's about 146 Safuux. So let's just, for argument's sake, let's round it up to 150 Safuux. Okay, so, sorry, let's not say today's sacrifice day. Today we are sat at 126 and we have, I think, 33 days left to sacrifice. Let's plug that into that amazing calculator that's been put together by UK Shepsky. I'll put the link below. But I'm just going to share what I've found. So we're plugging in 150 Safuux and the price going into sacrifice in 33 days is today's price of 126. Here we go. So first thing to say is that your 150 Safuux right now at today's price is worth about $189. Okay. But let's look at the numbers. So 150 Safuux today will rebase to 316 by sacrifice day, and given today's price, that will convert to only 77 Safuux. And I'm sure your heart is now dropping. Are you saying, but look at all my Safuux and it's going to be devalued to only 77 Safuux? Okay. That will then rebase, and come the launch of mainnet, your 77 Safuux will be worth $2,480 at launch, because the launch price we know will be $9 for Safuux. So already you have gone from a value today of $189 to a potential value at the launch of mainnet of almost $2,500. Let's then jump to looking what happens to that Safuux if you just let it rebase from the launch of mainnet for the next 179 days. You will have at the end of that period 11,612 Safuux. And of course, we don't know the price of Safuux at that point. That is a huge unknown. But if we leave it at the launch price of $9, then your current 150 Safuux will, in July, be worth $104,512. Now that's before sales tax, and it's before conversion to any other currency, etc., etc. So I haven't calculated that. But that's what I'm looking at. I've done those maths for my personal holding. I've done the worst case scenario. And the worst case scenario might be worse than that. Come sacrifice, it might be down to 50 cents. I don't know. But I'm prepared. And crucially, I'm not actually looking at the value of my SAFUU now. I haven't done that for weeks, even months. I know I'm down. I know that currently, if I sold my SAFUU, well, I have taken profit along the way, so I will probably be okay. I'd break even. But looking at it as a bag of SAFUU compared with my investment, I'm down. Of course I am. But that doesn't even come into my calculations because I'm not selling my SAFUU. I'm looking at SAFUX. Let's be clear. SAFUU, and it hurts me to say, but SAFUU is dead. SAFUU is a means to an end, which is SAFUX. SAFUU is a bridge to get to SAFUX. SAFUU is, yes, the present, but it's not the future. And I do think that a lot of the people that are really, really feeling a little bit bitter actually at the moment and feeling really negative and passing those really negative vibes around the community, I think I'm not speaking for them, I don't know, but I can only imagine that they're looking at the value of their SAFUU now. They're looking at what they've invested and what it's worth today. I don't understand that because this is no longer about SAFUU. This is about SAFUX. And I've said before on videos, I am very strategic. I always look at the bigger picture. I've also said in a past video that I am looking to take some profits before sacrifice. And currently, for me, looking at this price today, it stings. Yeah, and of course, I'm kind of going, oh gosh, what am I going to do? Because the price is so low. It's not worth me taking any out. But that's just my own personal detail and something that I'm working through and I'm finding solutions to. It doesn't detract from the much bigger picture, which is where we are going with the launch of SAFUX. So just to summarize, and I guess to answer those criticisms that have been leveled at me, other YouTubers, but actually anybody who's kind of been really positive and bullish even through this really, big price drop. I think I can summarize it in 3 really short points. For me personally, number 1, I naturally am disposed towards positivity rather than negativity. I'm a great believer in negativity gets you nowhere, in finding solutions, not ignoring worst case scenarios and all that, but in finding solutions and being educated in what that might look like. Number 2, I have an evidence-based approach. I have crunched the numbers. I've looked at my SAFUU bag. I've worked through what each scenario might be from 50 cents right through to $9 and beyond. Who knows? Nobody knows what that price is going to be when we sacrifice on the 20th of October. But I've covered all of that off. So in my mind, I have every avenue covered. Some are going to be a lot better, don't get me wrong, some are going to be a lot better than others, but I know what they look like. And number 3, I'm looking strategically. This is not about SAFUU, it's not about today, tomorrow. It is about, of course, the 20th of October and the price of SAFUU, because that will dictate how many SAFUX we each get, but also the size of the fire pit. So yes, I am looking at the now, the here and now, but I'm not counting my SAFUU today, looking at its value today and panicking. This is about SAFUX. This is about the blockchain that we are moving to. And anything else, anything about, but I've invested this and look, my Safuux is only worth this. To me personally, that's not my vibe. That's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the 20th of October, I'm looking at the 20th of January, and I'm looking beyond that to July. And that's what's framing my thinking. And those 3 points are why I am still incredibly positive and incredibly bullish about this project. Okay, here endeth my Safuux lecture, but just a little few minutes on just sharing with you where we've been in the last 3 to 4 days in our Tuscan adventure. Oh, we've seen some fantastically beautiful sights and the weather has been incredible. So a few days ago, we went to the beautiful and very small medieval town of San Gimignano, which is just, the skyline is full of these amazing medieval towers, and we went up the tallest one, the bell tower, and took some fantastic footage from there. And we then went to Florence and spent, gosh, an exhausting day. Oh, it was so busy in Florence, but some beautiful architecture, and we did spend some time in the Uffizi gallery looking at Renaissance art, which was incredible. And then yesterday we went to probably our favourite place, which was Pisa. Oh, we again saw some beautiful architecture, and there is the Leaning Tower itself. It's been incredible, and if you haven't been to Tuscany or Italy or even Europe, it's really, there are some beautiful sights to see. So perhaps when SAFUX is established and we are all feeling a little bit happier about price, perhaps some of you might want to plot a little adventure to come and visit here because it is stunning. But anyway, that's kind of the end of our Tuscan adventure, but I do hope to bring you some more little footage from perhaps around the south of France. We're hoping to get through Monaco and see some other sides, but mainly we're seeing friends in the coming few weeks. Sorry, I wish it was weeks, in the coming few days. So I will bring you a little taste of what we do in the next couple of videos. But in the meantime, I need to get packing because I don't know about you guys, but when we're on holiday, we kind of spread out across everywhere. So there's stuff everywhere at the moment. So I'm going to go and pack. I'm going to edit this video and get it up and share it with you. But you know, if you are feeling really quite down at the moment and negative, and you know, you're wondering, should I sell my Safuux? What am I going to do? Please, at least if you haven't done it, crunch your numbers. Go to the amazing calculator provided by UK Shepsky, again, link below, and just put your numbers in. How many Safuux do you currently have? Look at what it's currently worth versus what it could be worth if you invest into SAFUX. Play with the numbers. But don't just look at the best case, look at the worst case. And just become knowledgeable about what this all means for you. But also really come to terms with the fact that Safuux is not the thing that's important now. It's about SAFUX. That's where our journey is taking us. And that's really where you need to be focusing. That's all just my opinions, just sharing my thoughts, but I do hope that it's been helpful if you are in a little bit of a negative place at the moment. But I am going to go. I hope I see you in the next video. But in the meantime, stay SAFUU and cheers.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray.